Thanos holds the blade in Infinity War. He says the quote, "Perfectly balanced as everything should be." That may be a truth, possibly. But is that actually how life turns out for most people? No, because you have to define what that balance looks like. And it's different for everyone. We hear a lot about the work-life balance that we should all have, and how for most people it doesn't apply at all, because work-life balance is difficult to achieve. Not only because of time constraints, but money constraints. And the people you hear talking about this are the ones who have the money, mostly. They already have everything they need, and they're just looking for ways to make their life more enriching, because they don't want to deal with the same feelings that they had, or they want to work through the same feelings they had when they were 17, and working ridiculously hard to make it to the top. Because the people that a lot of us emulate are the ones that worked ridiculously hard at such a young age, and we want to be them, but do we actually? Elon Musk in an interview once said that no one wants to be me. There's a storm inside of his mind, and that you wouldn't want to be that guy. And I think many people would agree when they hear that, but then they just think about the material and they think, oh wow, incredible. But then what would you even do with that much money? You wouldn't even be able to use most of it. And then you have to live with all the consequences. An idea of, if you want a life but not the lifestyle, then you're just putting yourself in a recipe for misery. If you want to be famous but you don't understand what fame constitutes, no privacy, people know everything about your life, everything is made a massive deal when it's just something you want to keep private, then that's not really something we should aim for. And it's tough because you feel that, and there are elements that you do want. You do want some parts of what you see about the life, but then you don't actually want to live that life 24/7. It's model the rise, not the result. Don't look at where they are now, just look at what they were doing when they were at your stage. And if that's working incredibly hard, then that might just be the thing you have to do. And work-life balance is important. There are non-negotiable things, like I think caring about your health and sleeping and having time to reflect. I feel like those are non-negotiables no matter what, because you can achieve all these things, you can get incredibly far in life but if you just have the same thoughts you did when you were at the start, then what's the point? I remember hearing that Will Smith said in his memoir that when he was poor and depressed, he had hope. But when he was rich and depressed, that's a whole different story, because the one thing you think will get you out of it hasn't, if you don't choose to do the work. And it's not easy work, but it's work that has to be done.